Club, I'm your host, Simon Wunderlich. Let's get right into it with VIC readings, the format where we're looking at the best of the best value investment recommendations by the best of the best value investors out there. Today we have Catella, ticker is CATBSS. Price in the point of finding is $38.50. This is not recommendation, not advice. Please do your own diligence before investing into anything, and let's get right into it. Catella, description. Catella is a Swedish real estate advisory, management, and investment firm. The stock is down with the Swedish property sector, but Catella is not a Swedish property owner. They have multiple income streams from asset management, corporate advisory, etc., and own properties throughout Europe. When you do a SOTP, the shares worth SEK at 75 per share, or 100% upside. The market is missing this because Catella is small and illiquid. No research coverage other than ABG sponsored research. And Catella is being lost in the negative news flow from big Swedish real estate companies like SBB. Description. Catella operates through three divisions: A, corporate finance; B, investment management, most important segment; and C, principal investments. Corporate finance. Corporate finance is the advisory business. Catella advises small and mid-sized real estate companies on sourcing deals, DD on projects, IPO of property businesses, etc. This business has multiple offices throughout Europe. In the Nordics, competitors in the SMID segment include ABG, SEB, Nordea, etc., and regional boutiques. Catella's unique selling point is that they only focus on real estate as opposed to the other advisory businesses, which do all industry verticals. The segment is relatively stable and does SEK 50 to 60 million per annum of normalized operating profit. Although transaction volumes will likely go down, Catella can now advise property companies on balance sheet optimization, etc. Investment management. Property investment management with SEK 142 billion of AUM. AUM has been growing by 27 CAGR from 2015 to Q3 2022. See Q3 presentation. Property funds is 76% of AUM. Clients include pension funds in Germany and institutional investors in UK, the Netherlands, and Denmark. Investments are circa 70% resi properties and offices, 13% retail and 10% student housing, and 5% logistics. Property asset management is 24% of assets under management. In this segment, Catella can invest in projects earlier. They could team up with a KKR or other property asset managers who would pay ongoing fees to Catella. Revenue streams derived through monitoring fees, acquisition fees, divestment fees, and performance fees above a hurdle. Fixed fees on AUM are stable around 60 basis points. Variable fees fluctuate between 25 to 45 basis points of AUM. The segment does circa 400 million of EBIT, which should be growing over time with AUM. Principal investments. Partnering with other real estate firms to invest in real estate projects. Catella is not the builder, but will manage the real estate development process. Currently, they own 11 different projects after selling 5 properties at 50% plus IRRs. Obviously, we shouldn't assume 50% IRR going forward. Catella's largest project is the Cactus, a residential building in Denmark. The Cactus is nearing completion, and Catella has invested SEK 423 million so far. When comparing the property to comps, the Cactus could generate a profit for Catella of SEK 400 million plus. Total equity investment for this segment is SEK 1.3 billion when going through each project. The value of the real estate could be anywhere between SEK 1.3 billion to 3 billion. Valuation. I think valuation is being looked at through SOTP. It's best being looked at through SOTP. Corporate finance does 50 to 60 million of EBIT. If we use a multiple of 6x to take into account potential volatile earnings from a recession, we get 330 million SEK. Investment management generates circa 400 million SEK of EBIT, and if using a multiple of 11x, a significant discount to comp multiples given smaller, less well-known businesses, you get to 4.4 billion value. There could be significant upside to this number since AUM has been growing by 27% since 2015. Principal investments is worth circa 2 billion. Investments are 1.3 billion, and we can relatively quickly get to 2 billion when going through project by project. Total EV of SEK of 6.7 billion SEK. Catella has net cash, so equity value is close to 6.7 billion. That equates to a value per share of 75 SEK. Risks: corporate finance could have a couple of bad years given the current environment. Also, the business does depend on key individuals, rainmakers, to deliver deals. For investment management, Catella does need to continue to do well in terms of returns. However, even if they do not, they do have a lockup, so investors can't just pull their money from one day to the next. Value for properties owned in principal investments could be lower, although unlikely to be lower than 1.3 billion that has been invested. Catalyst: completion and sale of principal investment properties. Continued momentum of AUM and earnings. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you next time. Please write down in the comments below what you think of this